Hey folks, Keith with 93 Lumber here to introduce you and also share a beer with these fine Dutch gentlemen. On top, next to me, we have Douglas from Beers with Douglas. And on the bottom, where he belongs, is Thomas from Thomas Open.
Hello,
And
Keith. Thank you for that introduction.
you're welcome.
What are we doing here today?
We are drinking Schlenkerla's. You pronounce it because you do better. You do better at that.
As far as I know, you call it Weichsel.
Yeah,
Yes.
there you go.
It's their Weichsel. Yeah.
Sounds good to me. And it is their cherry wood smoked red lager, their Rotbier.
Yeah, Rotbier. Douglas, which one of us should read the back of the bottle?
Perhaps you should do it because I have my glasses here, but you have your glasses already on. So
I do, and I've been practicing my German a little bit more lately. So, Schlenkerla, die historische Rauchbierbrauerei. Für unser 8 Schlenkerla Weichsel Rotbier trocknen wir das Malz über einem Feuer mit hochwertigem Kirschholz und nicht wie beim klassischen Rauchbier über Buchenholzfeuer. I think Buchenholz is birch tree. I can Google that in a moment. Buchenholzfeuer. Im Gegensatz zum würzigen Buchenholzmalz hat das Kirschenrauchmalz ein fruchtiges, fast süßliches Raucharoma und sorgt für eine kupferrote Farbe im Glas. Feinster Aromahopfen ergänzt den vielsichtigen Rauchgeschmack um eine bärige Note. Mit 4,6% Alkohol ist 8 Schlenkerla Weichsel ein vollmundiges, angenehm suffiges Bier. So let me quickly Google. Well, you just guys chat because I'm going to Google this.
Yeah, mine's in English, so.
Oh,
the back of mine's in English.
Could you not just really?
So basically, we can say that this one is smoked on cherry wood.
Yes.
Yeah, and what is the other wood that they're talking about?
I have no idea.
Does it say birchwood there?
No, it doesn't say birchwood. No, there is no other mention of wood, just cherry wood. There is a... Would you like me to read the English version?
Sure, please go right ahead.
Yeah,
I would love to.
For our Schlenkerla Weichsel, I believe is how it's pronounced, red lager, we dry the malt over fire made of high-quality cherry wood instead of beech. Oh, so there is beech. It just says cherry wood instead of beech. Cherry wood has a fruity, sweet aroma and provides a copper red color. The finest aroma hops add berry notes to this full-bodied, pleasantly palatable beer, 4.6% ABV. And yeah, that's the... There's another little part, but that's on all the bottles.
So Thomas,
yeah.
Beech, is that like beuken in Dutch?
Yeah, so for our Dutch viewers, it means that... I'm just going to quickly say this in... I'm going to keep it in English, but I'm going to use a few Dutch words. So cherry wood, kersenhout, is what they used to uses the fire as a fuel for the fire to dry the malts on. And normally Schlenkerla uses beukenhout, which is beechwood or Buchenholzfeuer. So basically, they used. So it doesn't necessarily mean that there's cherries in this beer, but it's going to be apparently more sweet, a little bit more fruitier. So yeah.
Have either of you had this yet?
Nope.
Oh, okay, cool. I've had it a couple times, so I'm interested to see what you guys think of it, because
I'm curious as well. Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, I'm not even going to say anything else. I'm not going to say whether I liked it or not.
Actually, please, yes, do, because this is supposed to be a collaboration thing.
Okay. Or do you want to get into it first before I tell you whether I liked it or not?
Yes, we don't. We want to go in unspoiled, right, Douglas?
Okay, so
Yeah.
I won't say anything.
Good. I'm gonna open this
Let's
one.
crack this one open.
God, I want to say that it's been a while since I had Schlenkerla, but I had some not that long ago actually. Keith,
Yeah,
that little noise thingy is back.
is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I heard it also, Thomas and Keith.
Yeah.
Did it just come back?
No, yeah, it came back like 30 seconds ago.
Hold on.
Yeah, take your time.
Let me just turn this. Is that better?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's better
Alrighty.
again, Keith.
I use a different browser now, and it did give me like a warning that it may not work the same. But yeah, so I'll just leave it like that then.
That's a beautiful color. That's like very deep amber.
Yeah. With a slightly off-white head.
Yeah. I like that.
But
Yeah.
a nice head.
It seems slightly darker than the Madsen. Is that me?
No, I think you're right.
I don't know. I haven't had the Martin in a while, so I don't know.
I think you're right, Thomas. It's a bit darker than the Martin, I remember.
Madsen.
Yeah, Madsen, you're right.
You
always are. No.
The Mietzen?
Mietzen. Proper glassware. Hashtag proper glassware. I love the look of this. I've already had a few small sniffs. I had to, so let's just dive into the nose of this, shall we?
Wow.
That's really funny because
I do smell a typical Schlenkerla rauch.
yes,
smokiness.
but less. When I think of the Madsen or like the Urbach, the smoke is much more like savory, like that bacon thing. You know, that savory sweet bacon thing. It's definitely Schlenkerla, but the smoke profile is different.
Yeah, yeah, true.
Like a little bit more lighter and a little bit more delicate.
Yeah.
In between the Madsen, like you said, and the Pilsner. More in between those two.
Yeah, I get what you mean. And oddly enough, because of the color, I had expected the same sort of sweet malt profile like the Madsen, but it's not as pronounced in that malty sweetness, like that biscuity bready thing, like that toasted bread thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean. Smells delicious, though.
Yeah.
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 Keith?
Yeah.
You do not seem as enthusiastic.
I'm just keeping my composure so I don't give anything away.
Okay. Curious. Sneaky. It's relatively dry. It's a little bit grassy. It's slightly peppery.
I hear you with peppery thing, yeah.
And I mean peppery as in like if you ever have like white pepper, not black pepper, but like white pepper, and you rub that in your hands a little bit, you get that sort of tingle on your nose. If you smell it, then that's what I mean with like peppery. I like it.
I don't get any red fruit components.
No, I expected it to be. Maybe that's because of the name cherry wood. You start thinking about red fruit and everything, and that's just. But
True.
that's what.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
I'm gonna have to try and take a sip from this, guys. Now, so I don't know about you guys, but cheers.
Cheers, you guys.
Cheers.
Oh. That's interesting. Wow.
Douglas, you go first.
You definitely can taste the smokiness, but it's less smoky than, for instance, the Madsen and the double bock. But it's nice.
It's quite dry, actually. I find it has quite a dry finish. It has a lovely lingering, almost ashy bitterness.
Yeah,
Almost
true.
point towards almost acrid. The in the front of the when it took a first sip in the front of the mouth, it did have a lot more fruitiness than I had expected. It turns into sort of like almost a coffee coffee ground bitterness maybe, and almost a dark chocolate bitterness for a little bit, like not that long, and then it really went into that like that very acrid smoky bitterness. But oddly enough, it's also very crisp and clean. It's a much more crisp and clean, like the Madsen, for example.
Yeah, true.
And if I was given this blind, like I couldn't see the color, I would have guessed it could have been the unfiltered Hellas, but with a little bit more fruitiness in it.
Yeah, except for the color. Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah. But in the taste, now I get some fruity components, which you didn't
Oh
got
yeah,
in the note.
no, I agree. There's that sort of cherry thing going on. That sort of like cherry vibe.
Wow. And it's
Very
so easy
interesting.
drinkable.
Oh, it is. I could quaff this like in seconds.
Wow.
I like it. I like it. I have to admit, at first in the nose, I was slightly disappointed. Like I
Yeah, I
expected
know what you mean.
more, but on the palate though.
It's a little heavier than the Pilsner, the
Mhm.
lager version, but it's a good one. I really like it.
Agreed. I enjoyed quite a lot actually. I'm a little bit flabbergasted because I was expecting to be disappointed after the nose. Now, Keith, I really want to know what you feel.
I love this beer. I the first time I had it, it was on draft, and it was really good on draft. And I don't know. There's one thing that I get in this beer, whether it be the bottle or draft, and we have cans over here because they import tankers and can it.
Mhm.
I don't know if you have something similar as far as this goes over there, but like, do you know what Twizzlers are or red vines?
No?
Are they like the red licorice?
Yeah,
Like Wayne's World red licorice, that thing?
yeah, red.
Yeah, I've never
Yeah,
had them, but I know what you mean. I've never had them though.
like the one thing that I it was more prominent in the draft version, but I get it a little bit in all of them,
Mm-hmm.
uh, or the other two. Is like this smoked red licorice thing. The way that berry or whatever you want to call it, the cherry berry thing, sweetness.
I see.
I have
I think I understand what you mean without
If you
knowing what.
Yeah, if you haven't had it, then it's hard to understand. But
No, but I think I understand what you mean. It's like sort of like a sweet savory thing.
yeah,
Is that what you're saying? Yeah.
yeah.
I'm sorry, Douglas. I interrupted you. What were you saying?
now that he's saying it, saying is knowing sometimes, huh? But
Mm-hmm.
if you taste it, maybe a little touch of licorice,
Yeah, I see what
very
you mean.
tiny.
Well, red licorice isn't really like licorice.
Isn't red licorice basically like wine gum with sort of like licorice flavoring?
No,
No, that's different.
it's just like sweet candy stuff, and it's like it's not really licorice. it's called red licorice, but it's not really, because it doesn't taste like licorice. It's just like a, I don't know if it's strawberry flavored or cherry flavored or whatever flavor it is, but it's just candy.
It's flavored, and it's good flavored. God, this is.
Yeah.
I
Really
am
like that one.
in shock nearly. Yeah, I'm in shock nearly with how much I love this. Because, like I said, I thought I was going to be disappointed on the nose, and I figured, nah, this is just like. So, what's your favorite? Like, if you have to say right now, from all the beers you've ever had from Schlenkerla, which is your favorite?
Oh, this one for sure. I think I'm basing it on how, like, because I've loved all of the ones that I've had. I think there's like one or two. I can't remember if I've had the Urbach, and I don't remember if I've had there's the Weizen, right? The Weizen.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I have both of them in the fridge right now.
I'm not sure if I've had those. I actually picked up, when I picked this bottle up, I picked up those because I wasn't sure if I had them. So,
But you've had them by now.
No, I haven't drank them yet. But I think I'm just basing that on how much of it I can drink before it gets a little like heavy. Because like with the Doppelbock, you can only I could drink like 2 of those before it's like it gets a little too much.
The double box
Agreed.
is indeed a bit more heavier. Yeah, you're right.
Agreed. The smoke profile gets too much after a while, and I even have that with the Madsen. The Madsen is good. If I have a second one after about halfway through, I'm gonna go like, okay, it's starting to get like that. It's starting to get a little bit too much, and I think I know where you're going with Keith. And if I'm saying this wrong, but this is what I had in my mind about a minute or two ago. This to me combines that lovely sweetness from the Madsen, but the drinkability of the Helles, because the Helles, I can go to town on a crate of Helles and I'll feel bad in the morning because I've had too much beer. But I can go to town on a crate of that and not get sick and tired of the smoke profile. And that's why this is amazing. This has the drinkability, the quaffability. I love that word, quaffing. Do you guys know how Terry Pratchett described the word quaffing in one of his Discworld novels?
I feel like you've told me before, but I don't remember.
I think I may have, but for those who are new to it, quaffing is a way of drinking an alcoholic beverage, mostly beer, in such a way that most of it will end up on your face, your beard, your clothing, and not in your mouth. Like quaffing, like just quaffing it backwards, like this. I hope this is going to become core range for Schlenkerla, because if this is going to be available like year round, fuck me.
Now that I've tasted this, Thomas, I'm really curious, really curious about Schwarzbier.
Yeah,
because Schwarzbier is normally also easy drinkable beer with a nice touch of coffee and those roasty tones. So, yeah.
Do you know if they use beechwood in that? Oh, do you have a bottle right there?
Ja. Schwarzbier verwenden wir ein ganz besonderes Rauchmalz. Diese wird nicht wie gewöhnlich no, they use something called Erlenholz, which is why they call it the Erlen. So I'm going to quickly Google what Erlenholz is.
Did you look at the front of the bottle? They might say it.
Schlenkerla, elderwood.
Oh, elderwood. Okay.
But I'm going to see what elderwood is, but with an A, elderwood. I'm going to see what elderwood is out of Dutch.
I've heard of it before, but not familiar with it. And I do want to say, like, the because the Helles isn't a smoked beer.
No, the yeast has a smoky profile.
Yeah, they don't use smoke malt in that. So
no,
this is like, I'm glad they. Well, not really glad, because I'm sure they I'm sure they took their time with tweaking this recipe, making sure it was exactly what they wanted it to be. But like, if this had the smokiness of like the Martin or any of the other ones, I don't know. Well, I guess I don't know. I guess it's the wood that gives it a different kind of smokiness.
Yeah, well, it's all about the wood. Keep in mind also, like I don't know if all Schlenkerlas are brewed with 100% smoke. Well, of course, we know that the Helles has no smoked malt, but I don't know if like the Madsen, is it 100% smoked malt, or is it like 60% smoked malt and 40% unsmoked malt? I have no idea. So for all I know,
that might be.
For all I know, they also used exactly. But for all we know, instead of using 100% smoked smoked malts on this, I had a whiskey tasting earlier today. Give me a break. I didn't drink all the whiskeys, and we all had like small quantities, and I didn't even finish the glasses because, you know, I'm a responsible person and I was basically working, but still. I mean, that Pappy Van Winkle, by the way, fucking hell.
I entered a lottery for one of those, but I don't remember which one it was. But I've heard it's fine. It's more of like a hype whiskey.
Oh! Don't get me wrong. It's but in terms of bourbons, it's like really fucking amazing. It's not like the best bourbon ever, but I loved it because when are you ever gonna get to try a fucking Pappy Van Winkle, especially in the Netherlands? Yeah. Anybody who buys a bottle is probably gonna keep onto it because they're gonna want to resell it after a couple of years. So it was like it was great having exactly. It was amazing having like what was it? I think the Bowmore was like 30. No, the Bowmore was 18 plus. The Bowmore was, I think, 27 years old. The Artbeck was 22 years old. King of the Scotch was 50 years old. The Cambridge was 37 years old.
Wow.
So it was like the youngest whiskey we had. No, it wasn't the youngest. The Chichibu was the youngest whiskey we had. That was 7 years old. But anyway, it was just, I thought it was phenomenal. And especially, it wasn't as sweet as you would think, as most bourbons are. And we're off track. There you go. ADHD.
I was gonna let you finish your thought before I
never let somebody with like ADD, ADHD finish their thought because they have way too many of them and they always intermingle. Anyway, I think for all we know, instead of like having 100% smoked malts, this has like 50 smoked, 50 unsmoked, and that would already change the entire profile.
Right.
And that's why I got to the Pappy Van Winkle, because we were talking about, we were like, it's not as sweet as most bourbons are, and like a bourbon needs to have at least 51% corn in it, right, to be a bourbon. But most of them will be 60 to 70. Most of them will be like 60 to 70% corn, because that keeps the cost down because corn is cheap. But for all we know, the Pappy Van Winkle was made with like 52% corn, making it a little bit less sweet. I need my brain.
I kind of wish I had bought like a case of this, because I'm like this. It is a little dry. It's a little more dry than like your typical like easy chugging beers, but like I don't know, something about this just makes it the fucking one of the easiest beers to drink.
Yeah, and a little more taste than the lager, which is also a great beer.
Yeah.
But this has another different taste, and it's good. It's very good.
Yeah. I've been often told that I can wax poetically a little bit too much, but can you imagine it's late October and you're sitting like on your porch or in your backyard, and like most of the leaves have sort of like turned brown, but they're still on the trees, and some of them have fallen down, and it's about 8 p.m., 2000 hours for Dutch people. And the sun has basically set, and you're sitting there, and you got like your big, warmest hoodie on. and it's about 12 degrees outside. 12 degrees Celsius, by the way. I don't know what that is in American units.
I don't know.
Fahrenheit.
And you got like a nice little fire going. And next to you got a cooler of these.
Yeah.
And you're just sitting there. You don't have to talk. You don't have to do anything. You're just sitting there. You're enjoying the fire, enjoying a couple of these.
Or a barbecue.
Or barbecue, but you're just sitting there and you're realizing that it's nice surrounding, it's a nice setting, it's a nice temperature. You're not too warm, you're not too cold, you got a few great beers, and it's the little things in life.
Yeah. I could see like having like the Helles, this one, the Marzen, and the Doppelbock, and having like a few of the Helles, having a few of these, maybe one or two of the Marzens, and then like ending the night with the Doppelbock or something.
Yeah.
I feel like, yeah.
So how about the following? Keith, Douglas and I both still have the Erl, and we also have the Märzen, the Weizen, and the Urbock. We don't have the Doppelbock, but we do have the Weizen, the Märzen, and the Urbock. Now, you still have the Urbock and the Weizen. If you could get the Märzen, and we can give this a couple of weeks, you can find the Erl. We can do a live little thing on a Sunday. I don't know what time. We'll figure it out. We can do a little live thing and just talk about all these beers. The thing that you just said.
I wasn't going to mention it, but I actually already have all of them except for the Schwarzbier. So, yeah. So
let's do that.
Because I was actually planning on doing just like a thing for that. I was just gonna
perhaps in December at a lazy Sunday afternoon.
Yeah.
Well, Sunday afternoon for us, Douglas, would be like 10 a.m. for.
Yeah, but that's not our problem. So.
Hey, you know what they say? Day drinking is the best drinking.
Yeah, that's Keith's problem.
Yeah. I think Germans.
We can do it at 6 a.m. It's okay.
There we go. I mean, Germans have something called Frühstückbier, I believe. Like there's coffee, there's like breakfast stout. So why not a breakfast smoked beer?
Yeah.
Do you guys have any finishing thoughts for this review?
No, I don't think so. I'm glad you guys enjoyed it as much as I did. I do.
Yeah. My glass is nearly empty, dude.
I know. This is
I am pleasantly surprised. It's really good beer. I'm glad I have another bottle.
I have two more.
Yeah, I have one more. So I'm basically jealous on it right now.
This is good stuff. Keith, I'm really happy we got to do this together because it's been a while since we got to hang out.
I know.
Douglas, always fun hanging around with you.
Yeah. I haven't seen Douglas in a while, so it was good to see Douglas. Good to see you, man.
Likewise, it's been a while.
Yeah.
Ron Jeremy.
Yeah.
We're not going to make that joke anymore. We're not going to make that joke.
Oh, I don't care.
No, but
I do kind of care because he's kind of turned out to be.
Ron Jeremy wishes he looked that good.
Yeah. There you go. Oh, that was delicious. So, Douglas, do you want to do the ending thing for this?
No.
Okay, then I will.
He started it.
He started it. He can finish it.
Yeah.
That's what she said. Oh, God, I did.
You should just end it there.
That's what she said. Man. That's what she...
That's a great one.
That's what
you just cut it off where you put your head in your hands.
Oh God.
We should. We really should.
We really should. I have no idea how I'm gonna end this. But okay. Keith, do you want to do like the ending? outro, whatever shall I? Because this is already a hot mess anyway.
Okay.
Okay.
Thanks
Go
for hanging
for it.
out, everybody.
Cheers.
Cheers, Douglas. Cheers, Thomas.
I'm done.
Cheers, guys. And on to the next one.
We'll see. We're going to see each other in another review soon. I hope.
Yeah.
Have a
Cheers.
great day. Bye-bye.
Cheers. Bye.